and not only educated but assured. Because I'm going to be honest with you, I wouldn't want this in my backyard. I'm just going to be frank. I'm going to be honest. So I think that's one of those things where you have to educate people and let them know that you're being assured that you're not going to tolerate that population and that you have an open door for them to, you know, come with any issues. But to say that the public shouldn't have any concerns, that's actually not being fair.
Well, we are working on having one of our meetings maybe as early as September down at the facility. And we've talked with Mayor Zhang about making sure that the Cecilton folks, which are a larger population of concern than Earlville, to be honest with you, are able to come, that there's room for them to come and answer, and ask and answer all of those kind of questions.
Back in November, I was at a first meeting in Cecil County, and I think it was a zoning meeting. And we have 8 sites going, and I'm in zoning meetings all the time, and meetings like this. And a couple of senior citizens came up, and they wanted to know a number of things. And then they wanted education because they have grandkids that might be drug using. And we said absolutely, and we called them up afterwards. And this is the kind of stuff I do all the time, is to come out and talk to community groups or the Department of Health, or obviously the zoning boards as well. And that's our commitment. You know, what we really need is to get knowledge out about what the problem is, what the solutions can be. You know, and I'm always up for that kind of stuff. And we come in and say, look, this is the reality. The reality is you'll probably get a few more calls at the fire department or EMT from our site. This is our smallest site. Most of our sites are 120 beds and up. This is 49 beds. So it's not as big of an issue. And we have some sites that are located across the street from the school, and we have multiple meetings with the school. So anytime you want, just contact us, and we'll come out and do a citizens group or an in-service or whatever you like.
I think that availability will go a long way. The kind of transparency and communication as things move forward, because everybody's right. We don't have to be worried because these folks are getting help, but at the same time, the public perception is what it is. I do have a question operationally. You talked about this being the smallest site, and that continuum will be all on site. And you talked about satellite locations to provide them. Have you identified satellite locations in Cecil?
We haven't. We want to get our residential open first, and then.
So that'll be the timeline, first the residential, and then.
Yeah, because then we can see where the majority come from. So, for example, I have a site in Brad is going to be running a very large site in Danvers, Massachusetts. And my expectation is a lot of our folks that are in there will come from the Boston area, and we'll need a satellite outpatient in Boston. But we'll learn that from our folks that come in. Again, this is our one site that really is kind of rural and secluded, and a smaller site as well.
Anything else? I want to thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having us. Thanks.
Voices of Hope, Jim. Good segue, isn't it?
Yeah, great. Hi, everybody. My name is Jennifer Turk, and I'm your colleague, partners. I'm a person in long-term recovery, if you haven't met me yet. I'm also a peer community coordinator with Value Options in Maryland, and the executive director of Voices of Hope for Cecil County. And we are a group of people who are in recovery and family members of recovery, people in recovery, and just generally people who support recovery in Cecil County. And our mission is to advocate for recovery resources, to mentor others in recovery, and to work to eliminate the stigma associated with addiction and recovery. We generally support all recovery initiatives in Cecil County. We meet every Wednesday at 5:30, usually here in the auditorium. Our meeting attendance ranges from about 10 to 20 people every week. We have an email reach of about 100 people, and we have over 1,000 likes on Facebook, which is just about 1% of Cecil County population. And we recently celebrated our 1-year anniversary. That's awesome. Yeah, and our current projects, if you don't know, already include, we're still cleaning up the highway. We have an Adopt a Highway section on Route 40 near Hollingsworth Manor. We're getting ready to clean up again in July. We have a youth mentoring program where we hook up self-identified youth with a person in a recovery community who's been through training to become a recovery coach for our youth. We have a jail mentoring program now that we've started where we have 6 ladies who are writing to other ladies in the Live and Workout to try to help with the transition from jail to having somebody you know to meet when you get out. And so we have a lot of training going on with that, and we always keep in our vision that community center. We want a community center for Cecil County, a place where initiatives and programs can happen, a safe place for the whole area to contribute to the well-being of all of our people, which we believe will contribute to prevention. So upcoming events is, if you haven't had the email in your inbox, those of you who got the email, please pass it around. The What Helps and What Harms workshop, which will be here on Monday, July 13th from 5 to 7 p.m. And it's an invitation to transition youth 18 to 29 to come here and eat pizza and talk to the Maryland Coalition of Families Taking Flight Project in cooperation with the Transitioning Age Youth Project, all these projects. But they're coming here and they're going to have pizza, and they want to hear from what has helped people and what has harmed them in their recovery, mental health, behavioral health, addiction treatment process. And we're hoping that those voices, they're doing it all over the state, but and On Our Own actually did it a while ago. And we're doing it again, hoping to get a bigger, up to 15 young adults to use their voices to make a difference. We are participating in the Cecil County Recovery Walk in September. I know that we're going to be hearing about that a little more. And we are also forming a homeless outreach. We had Pat Marks come to us a couple weeks ago and talk about how 25 of the 85 people that were in the rotating shelter last season were placed in treatment and housing as a result of interventions from the health department, specifically sending peers over there and being like, just building relationships. So they came to Voices to hope that we can continue to build on that. And we're trying to put our heads around how we want to do that. We are going to have our second annual overdose vigil in Northeast Park on Sunday, August 30th. I know we've lost 29 people in 2014, but this is a memorial service, not an advocacy political event. It's going to be from 5 to dusk. You'll be seeing flyers that people promote it within the community as an opportunity for healing. We're going to be going down to the Unite to Fight Addiction rally on October the 4th, which is really a big concert party for everybody in recovery. We're going to have a bus. It's going to be chartered from here to go down and come back. You'll see flyers, please promote. And we are going to be doing the human rope against the dope. And we're not yet sure when or where, but we're with Joe on that. And we have also worked with Cecil Advocates for Recovery Education. It's called CARE. It's our sister organization. They focus mostly, you've heard of her here before, Lori Ergang, focuses on families and children specifically. She's done a presentation at the Northeast Middle School after hours to interested parents and teachers and students about addiction tools and recovery resources. And we hope to continue to help her with that project because it was about 25 people that showed up for that. With our partnership, we were able to promote a Rainbow of Hope program. You guys heard about that. They came to present for Father Martin's Ashley. And this is an example of what acting on relationship building can do. Father Martin's Ashley said, here, we're going to give Cecil County 13 free slots for your family program. And we promoted it, sent it to everybody. So we had 10 kids and 6 adults go down and spend a day at Father Martin's Ashley for this recovery, giving them the tools for healing and hope. And we hope to continue that maybe quarterly. And they were really positive about that, so we're thrilled that could even happen. Regardless of all the things that we're doing as a volunteer organization, we even have our 501(c)(3), so everything we do, we're doing on just community-based and partnerships with organizations. Our number one priority is still, even though we love you all, I do, but our number one priority is still to communicate the need for access to inpatient detox services. And I want to say that today I was able to get confirmation of something that I heard from ADRC people is that Serenity is now offering an outpatient several different forms of detox programs. And we're super thrilled about that.
But no one ever talks about them very much.
So we're going to be promoting that, getting information because we desperately need that, but we want inpatient detox services available. We appreciate all the work that the state and UDRC has been doing to send our people out to different counties for inpatient detox. but this still doesn't minimize our need for this service here. You know, because there's a lot of people who can't leave the area. These are people who are staying home to be parents to their children, to work. They need the outpatient one, but there's people who just can't leave the area but need the inpatient for a few days, and not need the whole shebang of a 28-month or month program that comes along with a lot of the detoxes that we offer. You know, one size doesn't fit all person, but all people. Not one treatment fits each person, but we hear the need for inpatient detox needs to be available in Cecil County for our most afflicted, seriously afflicted. You know, with all the different drugs, alcohol, barbiturates, you know, those kinds of ones. And it's a shame that to say that there are no inpatient detox, really crisis centers, let's go to the mental health board, available for people, whether you're rich or poor, whether you have insurance, or whether you self-pay, it's just not available. Most of the people from Voices of Hope are employed. You know, there is a whole population here that has insurance that can't get that service here. So we come to you today to ask you to do what you can as a member of this council to support this service here in any way you can. And I didn't know Recovery Center of America was going to be here, but Voices wants to express our disappointment in your recent vote against signing the certificate of need letter at the last meeting. You know, this group right here, you guys, more than any other, should be painfully aware of our own struggle in Cecil County with addiction throughout our community, our need for jobs, and our need for recovery supports. You know the deaths in our community due to overdoses, more than any other group. And this company already came to you, presented their program, answered your questions, made themselves available. We came to you as Voices of Hope after polling the voters with an overwhelming 97% of the people that we polled saying, yes, we need an in-county detox. We need it. And we asked you, we came here and we asked you to support anybody who came to bring that treatment here. Yet when you were asked by the state to send a certificate of need for this service, do you need this service? You were confused. You were unsure what you were being asked and voted no. In that moment and in moments to come, you have power, you, this group. You have the power to encourage a treatment resource here. And you have the power to show us, the people that you represent, to show us that you hear us and that you care. So it's our understanding that you advise and support treatment options here in Cecil County, not regulate them. You know, not scrutinize them. If your role is to scrutinize or to prove a quality of a company or know how they're going to do their treatment, if your job is to regulate that stuff, let me know, and you to send my complaints too, because we have a whole bunch of concerns already with some treatment going on. You know, and I want to know if you're going to address that stuff. So I'm just making the point that, you know, you got what we're trying to get clear on your role. And if it is to regulate quality of service, then let us know that. We'll use that. And I would hope that if any one of you were asked if Cecil County has a need for further treatment, for more treatment, if you were asked at the store, if you were asked, you know, walking down the street, if you were asked at a dinner party, that your answer would be yes, every time, until something changes, until we have the whole continuum of services here. And if your answer is not yes, being a member of the Cecil County Drug and Alcohol Abuse Council, you know, then question, then who are you representing? Because we need you to represent us. We look at you to represent us and stand for us. As a voice of Voices of Hope for Cecil County member and a person in long-term recovery and a parent and employee in Maryland, you know, I thank you for the job you do. I know it's tough, and we're here to support you and be in partnership with you. But we need that from you. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Jen. Questions from council?
Just what's dope on a rope?
I knew you were going to ask that.
Yeah, what is that?
Come on, Joe left. No, Joe. All right, I'll explain it. Human rope to stop the dope is We actually got a presentation from Daphne in Hartford County, who they did it in Hartford County. It's an awareness of, it's an activity of awareness that you get people from the community to stretch out kind of like arm in arm in a highly trafficked area and have signs that say, you know, we're against dope. You know, we're trying to do something that raises awareness that we don't want it anymore. We want it to stop. So the most people you can have, you're like, what are that? You know, what are they doing? But they'll look at it, they'll stop and talk to us, and we can point them to recovery resources and things like that. So we thought it'd be neat, and we're definitely looking into doing it.
I have a question. I know that Voices of Hope supports every road to treatment. How many medication-assisted pure recovery people do we have?
Does Voices have?
Yes.
Well, we don't have any Voices of Recovery peers. We just have people who show up, and we don't ask them, what are you doing? You know, we just, they'll introduce themselves as they want to, but we don't have like a
So
questionnaire or.
They're not trained peer recovery advocates?
Not at Voices. We do offer training, so we want to do like workforce development. We know that there's jobs available and they're coming all the time for peers, and we want Cecil County people in recovery to be trained for those positions because we know that we know our town best. So we'll offer like, hey, there's a Recovery Coach Academy happening over here, or free training, or if they don't have the $50 and they really want to do an ethics training or something, we offer it. You know, if I'm going, I'll give somebody a ride.
So we can send people over to get trained as peer recovery advocates?
Well, we can offer them training that would support a certification. And I make myself available to, if anybody wants to get certified, I'll sit down with them and we can help make a plan up. You know, definitely, I mean, we support that 100%, you know. And anybody can be a peer. It can be a family member. Family members are peers, brothers, sisters, parents. You know, it's lived experience with recovery that you have to offer someone else who's going through the same thing. You know, it's really good stuff.
Anything else? Thanks as always, Jim. 5th annual, it's been 5 years now. 5th annual Cecil County 12-step recovery walk coming up. Lane.
Almost forgot I had a talk. I'm supposed to be in another meeting, but that's okay. They'll be here. 5th annual recovery walk. You guys know I'm Elaine Barkley. I counsel at a couple of places around here. One thing I do want to say about the recovery walk, it isn't a project of the Drug and Alcohol Council. It's not a project of the Health Department. It's a nationwide, National Recovery Month is put on by the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration. So it's this huge project that anyone can participate in. The lead agency is the Health Department, but it was really a spin-off from this group. So that being said, this is the 5th one. It gets larger every year. Somebody, Carl, suggested making it a recovery walk and block party this year. So it's much bigger. Thanks, Carl.
Sure.
So we need a lot more involvement. We just got the mock-up of the handout, so we should be seeing them out in public, what, by next week, maybe? We hope. So what we're talking about, recovery walk, doesn't have to be recovery. It is for anybody. We want it to be more community-oriented because we know there's probably half a dozen overdoses that aren't fatal every day in the town, non-fatal overdoses. So you can be in treatment and come to the recovery walk. We want you there. You can be a family. You can be somebody who is tired of reading about it in the paper. So I'm kind of challenging people here to go back and share this with other folks. We want you to show up, and we want agencies to be there. We want all the other agencies to show up. So if I have a question about what services are available or what is out there, we want you to be there and hand that out. We want you to participate with this. We want it to be enjoyable. We want people to meet these agency folks so they have a name. When they call your agency, they say, hey, I met so-and-so at the recovery. And that's how we're going to get this out there. The Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration, this year, it says visible, vocal, and valuable. That's their motto. Every year they have a different motto for the recovery walk. I think it's really important. We're going to talk about how we're going to promote it, and I appreciate everybody coming out and listening. I appreciate people coming out and walking every year. I know Diane comes out every year and walks, which is very helpful. It's hard to do. It's hot. It's a lot of work. I appreciate everybody doing. Nancy comes out. A lot of you guys. Everyone comes out. We even got Ken to ride his bicycle one round the walk. So it's going to be a lot of fun. But it is serious because we want people to know that there's help available. You don't have to sit home and worry about your family. That's about all I have to say, unless I'm forgetting something. Ken, Mike, anything else?
It wasn't.
Thanks.
Any questions for Kathy? Nancy?
I know traditionally we set up a walk around the town in which you just casually walk it. My suggestion has always been a kickoff time, and everybody walks together. If you see everybody united, like I also suggested inviting all my Harley people and, you know, doing a bike run. But you see it, you see the runs with the police officers and the sirens. Why not a collaborative effort to get everybody kicked off at the same time? And in a group, like, you know, arm in arm,
Yeah.
like I've
Well, if
seen
you remember
before.
last year, we did have, do you guys know who the sober motorcycle group is around here?
Yes.
Phoenix. Who they are? They're a huge group of sober bikers. So, you know who they are? They're from, they started out here, a long time ago. They kicked it off. Does anybody remember that last year? They rode around. It was kind of cool. A lot of kids liked it. So they are going to kick it off. And I think they're going to have a run from somewhere. But it's kind of cool. That's a piece of it. So we've talked back and forth. There's so many ideas. So I want people to submit ideas. Tell us what you would like or what's lacking. You know, if you want it to have more folks from out of town, you want more agencies, then tell your agency friends to get in touch with me or get in touch with Ken and Mike, and they'll pass it along. Or Carl. He's a big block party idea. So we're hoping to see everybody out there, but I really want people to send their agency information out. All right, I gotta go to another meeting. So,
Thanks, Elaine.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Okay, you all have copies of the minutes. While you're finding them, I would point out that if you forget to sign in, you will not appear on the minutes. So we try to go through the minutes and catch names of people who we know were here but forgot to sign in. But every now and then, if you're not here, if you're not on the minutes, you know you were here, it's because you forgot to sign in.
Or not legible.
Here we go, that also. Any additions or corrections? If not, I'll entertain a motion to accept.
Make a motion.
Moved. Second, all in favor? Aye. Next item is report of the cause. We go around the tables, and each DAAC member updates us on anything related to the substance abuse that they're working on. Joe, I'll start with you.
Number one.
Scott?
I'll just say that we have seen an uptick, we're talking about overdoses since last Friday. So, we had 2 fatal ones. So, we're looking into see if there's some kind of trending of what's going on. And there's some surrounding agencies that have seen the same thing. So, we're concerned about that.
Sean, sorry.
Dr. McCarthy already got it out of me. Just the 2 other, I guess, added items is that we are doing a training for secondary school administrators, DAAC, which is drug identification techniques for educational professionals. So we have a team coming up from Gaithersburg, and for 2 days in July, we're going to have secondary administrators trained in terms of what are the latest trends in terms of adolescent drug use, and then also how to detect whether someone's under the influence of, you know, prescription pills and so on and so forth. And then in the fall, we're looking to have Scott's SRO group recommended program that they attended called the Tall Cop Says Stop. I'm sorry?
Jeremiah Galvin.
Yeah, and we're looking at getting him in sometime in the fall to do a presentation in the evening for parents and students.
Good. Thanks, Nancy?
I'd like to follow up with Sheriff Adams. We've seen an upsurgence of benzodiazepine abuse. I mean, worse than we've ever seen it. And we're also seeing a lot of fentanyl-laced heroin. And we did a study within the facility and found a lot of similar characteristics of crocodile. So we get a lot of information using lab services in a lot of our quality review things. So we'd like to be able to work with the police department to give those the information. We tell the narcotics officers in downtown Elkton, who we are seeing as, you know, regular dealers with the, you know, kinds of heroin that are coming out, but having a cooperative agreement with the police department that we can provide them with information without violating patient confidentiality. I think there's a lot of information that could be gained from within the programs, especially when people go into recovery and they're willing to, you know, make a change in their behaviors. So,
Scott, you want an answer on that?
Yeah, of course.
Expect.
No.
Well, I'll introduce Tom as I introduced him before, and he wasn't here, but he was one of the members of the nominating committee for our.
Yeah, and I apologize for being late. I didn't mean to leave you ladies hanging. I apologize. But I'm also with the public defender representative on the drug court. We are currently at 100 people in the program, which is at capacity, and there's a waiting list, and then I think a post-waiting list as well. So it's still moving.
Nothing right.
Hi, I'm Ken Collins with Cecil County Health Department. I want to give kudos to Upper Bay. It was a really great article in today's paper about the open access program and the in-house mental health service. It just sounds great, and just both pleased to be reading about it. I'm sure it's a great program. Secondly, I want to report that our overdose response program now has been running for about 14 months, and certainly hearing about the uptick in fentanyl and the overdose is very concerning. 716 people have been trained so far. That's a lot of people. That's 468 civilians, 248 law enforcement. Those 716 people have been trained. We've had 32 lives saved. 32 lives. Again, this is a valuable training, and I've said it over and over, and I'll keep saying it. If you haven't had the training, please talk with Carl, who's in the back of the room. Again, 32 lives have been saved as a result of the ORP program, the Overdose Response Program.
yeah.
Everybody know Carl? Just raise your hand in case anybody doesn't know. Block party guy. No, nothing else. All right, we have approximately 5 minutes left. Take audience participation or audience questions. I'd like to limit it to 2 minutes. Ken has a watch, so he can be the timekeeper. Anybody have any comments or questions? I want to let you know, we're not necessarily going to respond, but we are interested in your comments.
Okay, so I guess now's the time that I can comment on the plan that was adopted. One of the things that to me was blatantly left off was the Whitsitt Center. The very first plan that was ever adopted, that was the top of the priority list. And going back to the governor's roundtable, that was the first time that we had all those department heads in the same room at the same time. And they identified that the problem with overdose and drug abuse escalated when the Whitsitt beds, half the beds were taken away. I understand it's not in Cecil County, but from what I hear, it being in Kent County is actually a bonus because it's just far enough away to take the addict out of their environment. And they had a good track record, which brings me to the second point. With this whole process, the Drug and Alcohol Council, which was started in 2004, the process was put together so that a council would review and advise what programs should be promoted. And yes, you are supposed to be scrutinizing in these reports of what programs are working. And if you look at the resource survey, you're scrutinizing where these dollars, these limited dollars are going. We should be investing in programs that work. And one of the things that is missing is the input from the public. I got a lot of feedback from the public on what's working and what's not and why. You talk about the stigma of addiction. There's been a lot of people that felt alienated, ignored, that have been through the recovery process, that they've said until they're blue in the face of what's not working and nobody will listen. So I encourage, thank you, Mr. Collins. I encourage you to please get out the word, that these meetings are taking place, that the public can be involved, and that you have the meetings every month. Cecil County has one of the highest overdose rates in the state of Maryland.
Okay, anybody else? Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Right, do I have to stand up there?
No, you do not.
Good, thank you. I have a loud mouth, but anyway. So, hi, my name is Linda, and I am reading from your data-driven analysis of jurisdictional needs.
That's on the
It
plan.
says, unemployment rates in Cecil County have been higher than many other Maryland jurisdictions, and in 2013, 10.4% of Cecil County residents were below poverty level. We have a woman or a group of people from Recovery Centers of America. I would like to know 6% of what, and how is this exclusive place in Earlville, which I have visited twice, is going to help the folks in Cecil County who only have Medicaid insurance and are part of the statistics that you guys have gathered your information here. I didn't hear that answer when she gave it to the board. I don't need an answer, but I think you guys should think about that before you do a certificate of need in this county. The need is in this county, but are they going to be able to help this county? When that's they're the people that need the help, or the people that don't have, not the people that do have. The people that do have the means. They can go there, they can go anywhere. So, I have a practice in Cecilton. I've met with Brian O'Neill. I've called many of you folks many times. I have not had any phone calls returned.
Yeah, let's address it.
I'm not, yeah, so anyway, you're right, thank you. So, I want to know I want to agree with Jennifer but disagree, how they really are going to help. And you guys on this board need to really think about that before you think about giving them their certificate of need in this county. Okay?
Thank you.
Thanks.
Anybody else? Just a reminder, our next meeting is September 24th. I did mention that if we are in discussions with RCA about possibly meeting down at their facility, either in their facility or possibly in Cecilton. We have talked about that as a possibility because there's a lot of folks down in Cecilton who would like to meet you all and ask the questions that are on their minds. So I just want to alert council members that is a possibility for September. And please don't forget about the walk in September too. We'll be getting more details as summer progresses. Thank you all very much.